If you are living into the very best version of you to really articulate and go after your vision, you are in a great place of energy. That's the first part of the trifecta of awesome. You are asking great questions of yourself and of others that facilitate co-creation. So I'll say that again, if you're taking notes. You're asking great questions of yourself and of others that facilitate co-creation. And third, most importantly, you're active listening. If you're a thought leader, course creator, coach, you are reaching out to people and listening, putting an ear to the ground. We're going to talk a lot about this next session in terms of how I created those 10 ultra valuable things that resulted in extraordinary results over the course of 30 years. I didn't know it until I qualified it as I did the prep work for this training and next training. I have been a great active listener only because I had great mentors. Thanks, Bob and B. Love you guys. My mom and dad. Other people in my life. Mr. Parrish, my German teacher. Active listening was a very prominent trait. And then hearing what they're saying through the act of active listening and being like, so what they're saying is they really need this, or they really want this. Well, let me test the waters and try that. Hey, would it be helpful if I created this thing that had this output along what you said you really are going after here? Or would you? That language is what really, when you behaviorally live into that, that really creates extreme value in the world. I cannot wait to dive into our next training because you're going to see this in action in a major way. But I just want to make sure you're living into these 3 areas. So I'm going to say them again. I would love for you to think about the last time you had a great interaction, or overall in the last week, how you've been doing. First, have you been bringing great energy overall? Now, through my lens and my previous trainings, you know my goal is to always be joyfully curious. So great energy to me means, am I being joyfully curious in all circumstances? When I'm reading, watching Jordan Peterson, which I've been doing lately, Elon Musk, I've been doing a lot of that lately. Some of the podcasts I was doing, am I joyfully curious here? Am I in learn mode? Am I in open absorption mode? Am I joyful, meaning that I have good energy and I'm generally positively framed? And am I curious? Am I asking good questions that facilitate growth? Am I kind of adherent to that as being above the line? Second, so hopefully you got a rating there. Have I been bringing great energy overall in the last week? Second, have I been asking great questions that facilitate co-creation? And what does that mean when you break it down? Hey, dad to daughter. My daughter's going through major IB testing right now, which is where they're like college accredited testing. Hey, is there anything I can possibly do to help you absorb this information? Dad, could you get me a cup of water? And would it be okay if I use the whiteboard in the studio to document the ideas so I can see them visually and then take a picture of them and integrate them? And I'm like, yes and yes. Do you want me to draw on the whiteboard for you? No, I got it. Okay. That's the dialogue that we've had in the last few days. I'm checking in with her, letting her get in. Man, she is going at it. I hope she does well. She's actually testing this week and next. And then she's totally done with high school. And she's off to the University of Florida. Go Gators! And I just cannot believe her work ethic. It's so inspiring to me. That's asking great questions that facilitate co-creation. One smidge of an example between a father and a daughter. In the sense of creating a course. We covered this, but I want to recap it. It's, okay, I've created this first module, and I'm willing to recreate it if it doesn't hit the marks for you. But I would love to know, once you're done with it, what were the takeaways? What did you learn the most? What did I miss? And what do you think the next module or the next instruction should be based on what we covered in the first one? These are asking great questions that facilitate co-creation. Are you doing this? This helpful? Oh, it's so good. Number 3, active listening. So many people I've coached, they're like, oh my gosh. I would say 80% of the people I've coached, 8 out of every 10, have said, I got to do a way better job at active listening. I got to plant a question, and something we were taught in coaching is white space. And I got to sit there and let it marinate and not add to it, not disrupt the silence, and just wait for the magic to come out. Active listen. I've got to hear what's being said, but hear what's not being said. It's one of the very reasons I use the Bose noise canceling headphones for now over 4,000 high performance sessions, because I'm listening. Noise cancel means I'm hearing the breaths, the uptone, the downtone, the things that, great example. I would never heard this if I didn't learn how to active listen. I was on a coaching call 2 weeks ago, and they're talking about things in life. We're going through a life arenas assessment. And they're like, yeah, this is going well, this is going well. Oh, and then my mom. So she's doing all right. And I probably should do something there. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Did you see the energy when you talked about your mom? It went, what's showing up there for you? Well, I don't know, that I don't really feel comfortable sharing it. Okay, I get that. But let me just say that people who've said those same words and then shared in a place of psychologically safe coaching, which is what I aim to have for us, have had the biggest breakthroughs through that. Well, all right, I guess I'll share it. Took 3 minutes to share. Afterwards, came back around and said, how do you feel about sharing? Did that help? Just getting that out of me helped. I've been carrying it around up here, and it's been growing. Just getting that out of me has helped. So, thank you. Do you want to work on this, or did you just need to express this? I didn't realize this until recently, that there's a venting, some people will call it, an expression that people need to have, and sometimes that's good enough. But then there's also, do you want to talk through this? Do you want me to coach you on this? And I need to give people the option there. Some people are like, no, I'm good. I got that out of me and I feel so much better. And I'm like, oh, there's lessons here I can coach you on. And I don't say that typically, but I'll be like, there are a few points here that I could really help you with if you want to go down that path. Otherwise, we can go back to our discussion. I'm just glad you were able to share and express this. So often at the end of our sessions, I always ask, what did you love about our work today? And they're like, you push me to share something and I feel a lot better for having done it. And that's happened dozens of times in coaching sessions. That comes from, illustratively, I'm trying to demonstrate for you the power of active listening. Is that helpful? Really critical when you dream big and go after ambitions. You are on point with this, especially if your ambitions relate to entrepreneurial endeavors. Because when you have great energy, people hire you for great energy. When you ask great questions that facilitate co-creation, they're going to be typically, not always, but typically your raving fans. I was part of the creation of this thing. They're going to share it for you. Why do you think Tesla has spent $0 on advertising? GM spent $2 million or billion, I don't know what it was. It was a lot of zeros. And Tesla's business went up because GM was just pounding on electric vehicles. And Tesla saw a surge in sales because they're known as the main player in that space. Does that make sense? It's like crazy how this works. Asking great questions to facilitate co-creation, people have ownership of it. And when they have ownership of something, they're apt to promote you free. Third, active listen. Develop these 3 things as you fold them into your big dream and ambition. Magic.